outside. Sorry. The sounds of the trees crackling outside from the blazing sun was starting to release the frozen bodies from their bitter cold of winter. However, none of the light would ever reach me in this cage that I was in. I was surrounded by black brick, old brick, that made up the walls. Sometimes I swear they would crack too. The outside part of the brick would easily crumble if I applied any pressure, but it would never break. I tried punching them and slamming my body into them, only to give my hands bloody knuckles and weep about the bruises on my sides. The one door that was even worse, as it seemed to be a large, solid wall with unbreakable metal. It could only be accessed from the outside. My cage was not all bad, as there was 3 very thin sheets, and I could sleep and be with 2 metal buckets, one for water and the other to do my business in. Every 2 days or so, it was hard to tell the time without the sound of the trees. Some big man comes in and refills my water and rubs my waist. I beg of him to let me out, but he only says to shut up. So I changed my tactic and asked him outside and his name, but he never tells me anything but to shut up. So I give him my egg-a-layer, but he gives me a piece of cheese. This happened yesterday, and I'm bound to be alone once again here. I sat up from where I was sleeping and gathered up all my sheets into a pile. Getting up was getting harder as the bruises on my hips and arms were starting to form again. With a huff or groan, I took 6 steps to the right wall where the water bucket sat, and I took a long, deep drink. I placed it back down and took a sigh. I had to remind myself to be grateful for what I had, at least water to quench my thirst, my dry throat. It could be worse. I could have nothing, no water, or worth. And lying in my own filth. I go back to my pile of sheets and begin to slowly lay down and warm up. Closing my eyes, I remember what happened yesterday as if it was a dream. It was midday, I guessed, as sunlight was peeking through the crevices of the brick, and some sounds of the birds singing to each other and had waked up as they came home from hunting for their meals. I lay there staring at the largest crevice. It looked almost like it was big enough for me to look out. I quickly and regretfully got up from this to see if my suspicions was correct. I ended up tripping and falling face first into the floor. After getting a quick check to feel if there was any moisture on my face and flinching, I don't know what that says. Skip. It was left from the wall, which had not opened in a while. Maybe the man would be here today. Maybe I would get to see him outside. If not, I would get to see the outside. The screaming became unbearable. The noise was getting louder, or it seemed closer. The noise always cut off suddenly, as if there was no longer anything to scream. Then it would quickly begin again, Then it would quickly begin again, as if it was never quite the same noise. I could not see anything. I could not tell if something was over my eyes, or I could not just open my eyes. I slowly moved my arms. The noise cut off again. But I can't move them well. I think I'm tied up, but everything is not. I hear the metal screeching, but then the screams start again, drowning everything out. I am so tired. The noise just continues to get louder. This time it sounds as if it's right in front of me. Am I next? Will I scream like everything else has? Will I even feel anything? I can't even move, well, not easily, as I move my leg a little bit, but once again I'm stopped by something invisible. Then I hear it clearly. The sounds of footsteps, one heavy pair and slow, and the other heavy as well, but quicker as if in a hurry to get here. And that's great.